Hey, good Thursday morning, everybody, and welcome to Surfside, California. It's an absolutely gorgeous morning. I didn't think I'd be standing here today because there was some pretty heavy rain here last night, or I should say in the early morning hours this morning, and I anticipated a little bit more wind, although the forecast was for just about this. But we are in between a major storm that is headed our way. In fact, Friday afternoon, it is going to get nasty here in SoCal. We're going to have a lot of wind and a lot of rain, and it looks like it could get really crazy. But we still got a lot to talk about, and you know what time it is. Not only time for this glorious sip of coffee, but it's time for the morning briefing. Good morning, my friends. Oh, I hope you don't mind me doing that. I had to do it. Hey, if you could do me a favor this morning, hit that like button. We deeply appreciate it. Moves us up the algorithm on YouTube. It really helps a lot. Share these videos if you're liking them. And of course, hit the subscribe button and you'll be notified when we put out more content. And we're putting more and more content out every day. The reason why we're able to do it is because so many of you are joining us on Patreon for as little as $5 a month. And we really need your help. If you do that, it helps us to produce content, and at some point we'll be doing it 24 hours a day and be able to provide you with a channel that keeps you updated on sport fishing around the world with so many interesting stories and so much more. All you have to do is go to patreon.com and search Friedman Adventures, and as I say, for as little as $5 a month, you'll be able to join us, and you might get one of these mugs or you might get a hat. You'll be able to see exactly what you get when you sign up, and we would deeply appreciate that. All right, if you didn't see the show last night, that was a good one, principally because Bill DePriest and Mike Bond were so great. Yeah, the Pacific Coast Sport Fishing show at the Orange County Fairgrounds is right on the horizon, the 1st of March, and man, that is going to be a great show. I've seen how many exhibitors they have at that show. It's going to be fun, and I guarantee you there's going to be a lot of people who attend that show. It should be fantastic. I highly recommend you take a listen, because not only do you learn about the show, but you learn a little bit about Mike Bond and Bill DePriest and what drives them in this industry, why this industry, why fishing is so important to them. So I highly recommend you check it out. All right, got to say happy birthday to a dear friend of mine, somebody who's made Friedman Adventures really possible, and that is my friend Captain Jeff Jessup of the Apollo and the Amigo from 22nd Street Landing. Jeff, wishing you the happiest of birthdays. Jeff, by the way, was the best babysitter I ever had. I used to drop my kids off on the Spitfire all the time, and Philip and Patrick would go out there, and Jeff would take good care of them for about 12 hours a day, and I could work on 976 tuna in those days. And the boys had such a good growing up because of that. They developed, both of them, a great work ethic. They learned about fishing. They became and fell in love with fishing. So it was all great, and it's all due to Jeff. And when we were first starting Friedman Adventures, I went to Jeff about the studio that we now have, and Jeff really went to work and making that all come together at 22nd Street Landing. All right, needless to say, happy birthday, my friend. Decades of a great friendship, an unending friendship, and I deeply appreciate everything, and I hope you have a truly special and wonderful day today. All right, let's get into some other stuff tonight. The Danny Cadota Show. I don't want to forget that. Danny and I were out having sushi yesterday. We'll talk a little bit about that. That was a fun experience. It always is. And also, we'll be getting into so much more with Danny this evening at 6 p.m. And remember, if you ever miss one of our live shows, they're archived immediately. You can go back and watch them later. So do that indeed. All right, I'm going to cover fishing with you. I got to tell you, there isn't much going on here in SoCal right now. San Diego, Northern Baja, we're all bracing for the big storm, and this one is a real storm. This is not one of those hyped up deals that the weather people do when we get a quarter of an inch of rain and they're looking for you to tune into their station. So they tell you, you know, storm watch, be careful. This is a pretty bad storm that's headed our way with a lot of energy. We should get some thunder and lightning. from northern Baja up to SoCal, so I do want you to be careful. Down in Cabo, same old for about, I want to say, a month now. A few striped marlin. It seems like that's increasing day by day, but it's still not all that great. Some sierras and roosters on the beach, a little bit of yellowfin and dorado spread around. Captain Sean Morgan tells me it's still not quite ready to go, so we'll keep our eyes on it for you very, very closely. We'll move you up a lot closer to home. Cedros Island, remember, they're getting prepared for their yellowtail season. That'll kick into gear around the springtime, and when that kicks into gear, it'll be game on in Cedros with yellows. But a few big halibut, some white sea bass, calico bass there. Pretty good fishing for mostly pongeros. There's not a lot of tourism going on there right now. Don't anticipate a ton of guys to be fishing out of San Martin or San Quintin area, where they go out to San Martin Island or they fish along the beach. But when they've been able to get trips in, they've had yo-yo iron, yellowtail. And by that I mean yo-yo iron refers to the type of jig, which is normally a small, heavy jig that you sink down deep and wind on really, really fast. But it also refers to yo-yo, the methodology, and that is dropping it deep, winding on it fast, turning the handle to set the hook. That's how you get it done every single time. They've caught that and copious amounts of colorful and delicious eating rockfish, and also up there around Colonette. The Relentless out of San Diego was the last boat that I saw down there. They had some adverse conditions. I mean, it was a lovely day, but currents weren't exactly right, so they had to work hard at really finding a good rockfish bite. But of course, Mike on the Relentless and their great crew, I fished with them last fall, did it and made sure that David Choate and his group had a lot of fun down there in that neck of the woods. Ensenada, my friend Victor from Blackfin, he said he's going to be in Ensenada this weekend. I might meet him down there. As a matter of fact, I have some interviews to do down in that neck of the woods for all of you. So with all this rain and everything else kind of shutting down around here, that might be a good time to be down there checking it out and checking a whole bunch of other stuff out. I love Baja and I love checking out new places for you to visit. But Victor has had great rock fishing. Hector Torres and his lovely wife were out of there recently and had great rock fishing down there in that neck of the woods. That's been mostly the name of the game down there. There's also some big bonita around Punta Banda, and that area has produced pretty good bonita fishing. And if you get in there closer to the Baja coast, La Bufadora, areas like that, remember when we got the lobster trap caught in the motor and I almost ended up blowing up out of La Bufadora? That would have been a great TikTok video, by the way. But mostly some good calico bass fishing in there also. Half-day boats extend their trips sometimes out of San Diego. Those guys cross the border where rockfish is open, so some boats are doing that, like the New Seaforth and several other guys. Other guys are staying local in San Diego and picking off some sand and calico bass, that kind of a thing. Here in Southern California, our rockfish season is closed until April the 1st, so boats are concentrating on some wintertime bass fishing. I'm talking sand and calico bass. They fish a leadhead and squid in most cases. 40-pound fluorocarbon, highly recommended. It works so well. We love Opsin fluorocarbon. www.opsinusa.com. Put in FA, Friedman Adventures, at checkout, and you'll get a hug and a kiss from Greg Brown at the PCS show. You'll also get a love note and a free gift. So keep that in mind. That really is some great line. Really works well. Smaller diameter, gets bit really well. Abrasion resistance, which works well when you're fishing structure on wintertime bass. So keep that all in mind, and I think that'll work really, really well for you all. So mostly that, and then you can fill in with delicious eating sculpin and whitefish. That's also another great thing to do. We were over at the Sushi Institute yesterday. Danny Cadota and I had a great time in Torrance, California. If you're thinking about upping your sushi game, whether you want to become a chef or you just want to put on some great parties, that's a great place. The Sushi Institute over there in Torrance, California. We always love to drop by and see our friends there and some great young chefs who are going to be future great chefs and produce some beautiful sushi. The presentation, the quality, all of it was there for Danny and I yesterday. We really loved it. All right, and in terms of surf fishing, you're going to have to be really careful. So don't even think about it with all this wind and all of this rain headed our way. I'm looking at the jetty over this way, and it's nasty. You can get washed out to sea, and it happens every single year. We admonish people not to go out there during these kinds of days. There's plenty of beautiful days out there in the future. Stay away from this for the time being. There's been some barred perch in here. Cooler water equals barred perch. I know down in Rosarito, my friend Albert Ponce, he had a great day of barred perch fishing in Rosarito. He searched around, found a good beach, and they bit for him. So some nice fish indeed. Also, there's a little bit of spot fin croaker around, yellowfin croaker around. And as we move more into spring and we start to get grunion runs, we'll see more and more halibut being taken on Lucky Craft lures. So that is also in our future. Long range fishing, as we've been telling you, pretty darn good there on the Royal Polaris on nice grade yellowfin tuna. Sprinkling of wahoo also kicked in there for the long range boys. So they've been doing quite well also. All right, everybody, it is showtime. Don't forget the PCS show coming up. After that, we've got Day at the Docks in San Diego, and that's going to be a magnificent celebration of sport fishing. I'll be at both those shows. Not sure on my schedule yet. I don't have a booth, but I'll be walking around aimlessly. If I bump into you, remember, don't call the cops. Just kind of, point me in the right direction and give me a shove so I'm headed in the right direction. It'll be great to see you. I saw so many folks here recently out in public who are behind Friedman Adventure, who are becoming Patreon members, who are supporting us in every single way, jumping on our charters. We got a lot of charters this year. Most of them are filling up, but I've left some space. If you want that charter list, 657-227-6459. Just send me a text saying, send me the charter list, and you can grab some of those last spots that we have available. The Endeavor up there out of Ventura Sport Fishing, and we love Ventura Sport Fishing. You should start thinking about booking with them. They are absolutely fantastic. And Tucker McCombs and Ventura Sport Fishing have been a sponsor from the very beginning with us. We're going to be adding our Malahini trips and more out of San Diego here very, very soon. Bill Wilkerson, Malahini Sport Fishing, been with us since the very beginning. 22nd Street Landing in beautiful San Pedro, California. They also have been with us. And Daiwa, man, I tell you, rods and reels that are affordably priced and so effective at helping you to realize your sport fishing dreams. So proud to have Daiwa on board with us. Fish Taco Chronicles magazine also with us, and Opsin Fluorocarbon, as I mentioned. All right, my friends, what can I tell you? It's pretty darn gorgeous here, but it's all going to go to spit here very, very soon. Lovely morning. So good to be with you all. I send you all my very best. Can I hit this one more time? Kind of lukewarm, but still really good. Can't beat it. All right, don't forget, Patreon helps us so much. We need your help to continue to produce more and more content for you. www.patreon.com. Search Friedman Adventures. Become a Patreon member today. Become a Friedman Adventure family member today. Can't thank you enough. Have a great day. Don't forget, check out the PCS show. It's up there right now with Bill and Mike. You're going to love that. And we'll see you a little bit later tonight with the Danny Cadota Show. Good morning, my friends. Have a great day. Thanks for everything you do for Friedman Adventures. Judith Ann Nature Tours and Whale Watching is located at 22nd Street Landing in beautiful San Pedro, California. She does 25 knots and can put you on whales and other marine life within minutes of departure. And it's your own private group. Up to 8 people can go on board the Judith Ann and witness the gray whale migration, blue whales, humpback whales, sea lions, pods of dolphin, and so much more. It is such a unique way to see the brimming marine life off the Southern California coast. Captain Tom Doerr has been doing this for decades, and he will put you right in the middle of an adventure that you will remember for a long time to come. It's the Judith Ann Nature Tours and Whale Watching out of 22nd 2nd Street Landing in beautiful San Pedro.